Tutti a tutti, and welcome to another edition of Italian America Long Island. My name is Dave Anthony Settadicati. Today we have a wonderful show for you. I have a wonderful guest, Mr. John Ciotta. John has been playing all over the world. He just got back from a 1-month residency at the Superstar Theater and Resorts Casino in Atlantic City. He's been on cruise ships for 17 years. He's played all over the world. In fact, he's got some CDs that are available. This one, The Show, and this one called Sing, which is available on his website, johnciotta.com. John, welcome to the show.
Good to see you again, Dave.
Benvenuto, benvenuto.
Grazie, molto grazie.
Oh, well, tell us a little bit about your Italian heritage, John.
My maternal grandfather, he came to the United States when he was, I'm not sure how old he was, but it was in the late 1800s. My dad was born in a little tiny village about an hour outside of Naples called Leone. And he came here with his mom and his cousin when he was 7 years old in 1932. His dad was already here, as they did back then. They came, prepared things and all. And he came on a boat in steerage, 10 days to cross the Atlantic Ocean. And they set up their family here. They built the family, they built their homes, they built businesses, served in the military. You know, my ancestors did what so many of our Italian ancestors did, you know, but they became Americans as well.
Exactly.
And they instilled that in their children, in my brother and myself. And
when you were raised, did you observe a lot of Italian tradition, or?
Yeah, we did. Probably the biggest Italian tradition, family was paramount. You know, nothing was more important than family. I grew up, my mom had 8 brothers and sisters, so I grew up with all the aunts, the uncles, the cousins, you know. We have like 738 first cousins, you know. Not really.
I know what you mean.
Right.
Did you get together once a week, or?
No, we got together almost every day.
Almost every day?
Mom and Dad had a small house on the same property as my grandmother and grandfather. So everybody came over all the time. You know, my mom's brothers and sisters, their kids were always coming over to see Grandma and Grandpa. So we were all playing together almost every day. You know, after school people would come over, certainly weekends.
Now, in your present life, in your present home, I know you have a lovely daughter and a lovely wife. And what traditions would you like to see maintained in your family now?
It's a little harder now. We maintain that family bond. Rose is only 3 and a half, and we're instilling her now that mealtime is the family time. We sit there, you know, she's only 3 and a half. She's got the tablet and everything else. You know,
yeah.
That does not come to the table. Our phones do not come to the table. That's when we sit and talk. Rose tells us what she did in school that day. So there's that kind of a tradition.
You had such a wonderful career traveling all over the world. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your travels and your professional travels?
Dave, I talk about this in my show, my stage show. I'm probably the most blessed guy that I know. I have an incredible daughter, an amazing wife. My mom and dad are still here. My brother and sister-in-law are wonderful. But another one of my incredible blessings is that I have been able to do this kind of traveling. I had a band. It's cost prohibitive to do that nowadays. Budgets don't allow that. But we started in the rock dives, you know, and worked our way up. We went from the rock dives to nicer nightclubs, to hotel clubs, to casinos. And as each area started to change, we moved on to a different level. And when we saw casinos start to change in their entertainment and what they were bringing in and how often they were bringing them in, we went overseas. And I wound up performing 8 months in Hong Kong, 6 months in Singapore, and from there we went on to cruise ships. And again, God watching over me, I was asked to perform in the main room from the band. We were in the lounge at the time. I was asked to perform in the main room in their production shows with the dancers and everything. And that went so well that eventually I was asked to headline my own show. And that's what I've been doing for the longest time.
Well, John, I had the good fortune to meet you at the Town of
Oh, it's my good fortune.
Taste of Italy program, so I got a chance to hear you sing and perform, and I have to say, nobody can work a crowd like you.
Except you.
Thank you. That's a very big compliment coming from such an accomplished professional musician as you, and thank you for that. But you really work the crowd and involve them in it, and you share that love, that warmth that you have, that Italian warmth just comes right through. Everybody has a great time at your shows, and you're a wonderful singer.
Again, being very fortunate, I had a manager very early on, and one thing that he instilled in me was he went to each guy in the band. He said, "What do you do?" And he'd been working with us for a while. He said, "Well, I play sax, and I play drums." And he turned to me. He said, "What do you do?" I said, "I sing." He said, No. He said, "What do you play?" I said, "I play percussion." He said, No. I said, "What do you play?" I said, "I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean, what do I play?" He said, "You play the audience. That is your instrument, and you have to learn how to play that." He said, "They're going to be playing the same songs. You're going to be singing the same songs. The lights are going to be the same. The only difference that you're going to have from night to night is the people that are in that crowd, and it's your job to learn that instrument." And he drove that home for me.
Well, you learned it very well, John.
It's been a driving, tenet in my career.
That's great. Now, you brought a little clip of you working the audience in Atlantic City.
A wonderful, wonderful woman. And it's not an Italian song. It's actually a Motown ballad.
Right.
And this wonderful woman, Marie, in the audience, was so excited and so enthusiastic. I had to go down and sing to her.
All right. Well, let's take a look at that clip right now. We're going to take a look at that short clip right now.
Don't you know I sit around with my head hanging down, and I wonder who's loving you, 'cause a life without love, ooh, it's so lonely, baby. I don't think I'm gonna make it. All my life, all my love belongs to you only. So come on home, baby. Come on and take it. All I can do since you're gone is cry. Oh, baby. Don't you ever wonder or worry your pretty little head about what I will do, 'cause you know I sit around with my head hanging down, and I wonder who's loving you. Who's got their arms around you, baby? I love you, honey. I have never once left the stage to sing that song to anybody. You are the very first person I've ever sang that song to. God bless you, Marie. She's still going. She's in her. She's like, I got my eye on you.
John, that was really wonderful. That's really something. As I said, nobody plays the crowd like you do.
Well, she made it easy, believe me.
Now, you're going to do some singing for us?
I hope so.
What song would you like to do right now?
Well, why don't we start with something Italian?
How about Al Di Là?
Sounds great.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's John Ciotta singing El de la.
Al-Ilah means you are far above me, very far. Al-Ilah, as distant as the lovely evening star. Where you walk, flowers bloom. When you smile, all the gloom turns to sunshine. And my heart opens wide when you're gone. It fades inside and seems to have died. Al-Ilah, I wondered as I drifted where you were. Al-Ilah, the Father of me lifted. There you were, in the kiss that I gave, was the love I had saved for a lifetime. And I knew all of you was completely mine. Al-Ilah del sogno più ambizioso, ci sei tu. Al-Ilah delle cose più belle, al-Ilah delle stelle, ci sei tu. Al-Ilah, ci sei tu. Al-Ilah del mai più profondo, ci sei tu. Al-Ilah dei limiti del mondo, ci sei tu. Al-Ilah della volta infinita, al-Ilah della vita, ci sei tu. Al-Ilah, ci sei tu per me.
The greatest. John, that was fantastic. I enjoyed that so much.
You're such a pleasure. First of all, you're a fine, fine guitar player.
Oh, thank you.
And I don't get a chance to do John Ciotta Unplugged very often. So this was great.
Great. It's my joy. How about another one? You do some Frank Sinatra, don't you?
Absolutely.
Do you know Come Fly With Me?
Sure.
All right, why don't we try that?
Let's do it.
So here we go. John Ciotta and Dave doing Come Fly With Me.
Come fly with me, we'll fly, let's fly away. If you could use some exotic booze, there's a bar in far Bombay. Come on, fly with me, we'll fly, let's fly away. Come fly with me, we'll float down to Peru. In Lava Land, there's a one-man band that will toot his flute for you. Come on, fly with me, we'll float down in the blue. Once I get you up there, where the air is rarefied, we'll just glide. Starry-eyed, once I get you up there, I'll be holding you
such a lovely day. Just say the word and we'll meet the birds down to Acapulco Bay. It's perfect for a flying honeymoon, they say. Come on, fly with me, we'll fly, let's fly away. Once I get you up there, where the air is rarefied, we'll just glide. Oh, starry-eyed, once I get you up there, I'll be holding you so dear. You make all the angels cheer, because we're together weather-wise. It's such a gorgeous day. Come on, say the word and we'll meet those birds down to Acapulco Bay. It's perfect for a flying honeymoon, they say. Come on, fly with me, we'll fly, let's fly. Pack up, let's fly away.
Nice one, Sean. Well, that's
What a joy.
That's a swinger.
What a
Fantastic.
joy.
John, that was really great. What is that song? Swing? That's a swing
It
song.
is a swinging song.
I always love that song. You do it so well, too.
Thank you.
How about Dean Martin? You do any Dean Martin?
Oh, how can you do any kind of an Italian type show and not do Dean Martin? Of course.
All right, how about That's Amore?
Great.
All right, That's Amore. Here we go.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. That's amore. When the world seems to shine like you've had too much wine, that's amore. That's amore. Bells will ring, ting-a-ling-a-ling, ting-a-ling-a-ling, and you'll sing Vita Bella, Vita Bella. Hearts will play tippy-tippy-tay, tippy-tippy-tay, like a gay tarantella. Lucky fella. When the stars make you drool, just like a pasta azul, that's amore. That's amore. When you dance down the street with a cloud at your feet, you're in love. When you walk in a dream, but you know you're not dreaming, signore. Scusa me, but you see, back in old Napoli, that's amore. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. That's amore. When the world seems to shine like you've had too much wine, that's amore. That's amore. Bells will ring, ting-a-ling-a-ling, ting-a-ling-a-ling, and you'll sing Vita Bella, Vita Bella. Hearts will play tippy-tippy-tay, tippy-tippy-tay, like a gay tarantella. Lucky fella. When the stars make you drool, just like a pasta azul, that's amore. That's amore. When you dance down the street with a cloud at your feet, you're in love. When you walk in a dream, but you know you're not dreaming, signore. Scusa me, but you see, back in old Napoli, that's amore. Amore, that's amore.
That was good. That was fun.
That was great.
Really nice. You did that really
Yeah,
nice.
great.
So you just don't do Italian shows, right, John?
Right. I do perform at Italian festivals, Italian resorts, Italian events like the one we met at.
Right.
But I also do a more rounded type of show. It includes Motown, it includes some Neil Diamond, Michael Bublé. I sneak the Italian in there as well.
Right. And of course you do Frank Sinatra.
Absolutely.
Do you do That's Life?
One of my staples.
All right. We're going to play That's Life then.
That's what people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But I know I'm gonna change that tune when I'm back on top in June. I said that's life. Funny how it seems some people get their kicks stomping on a tree, but I don't let it get me down, 'cause this final world just keeps spinning around. I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn and a king. I've been up and down and over and out, but I know one thing. Each time I find myself laying flat on my face, I pick myself up and get back in the race. That's life. I can't deny it. I thought of quitting, baby, but my heart just won't buy it. And if I thought it wasn't worth one single try, I'd climb up on that big bird, ooh, I'd fly. Said I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn and a king. I've been up and down and over and out, but I know one thing. Each time I find myself laying flat on my face, I pick myself up and get back in the race. That's life. Dave, I can't deny it. I thought of quitting, baby, but my heart, she ain't gonna buy it. But if there's nothing shaking this here July, I'm gonna roll myself up in a big ball and die. My.
John, you just got back from Resorts International in Atlantic City, where you had a residency for a month. How did you get that gig?
That was really interesting. I was performing at an Italian resort up in the Catskills, and one of the musicians came to me and said that a friend of ours was performing for a month down in Atlantic City. I said, where? He said, at Resorts. And I called my brother, who works down in Atlantic City in audiovisual. And I said, who's booking Resorts? And it turned out there was an old friend of mine. And I called him up and I said, Bill, you know, you got to take a look at my stuff. He said, I will. He didn't just plug me in there. You know, Bill's a smart guy. He,
all right.
You know, he won't trade on a friendship just for, you know. And he took a strong look at my website, my Facebook page. He searched out YouTube clips and everything else. And he called me up. He said, okay. He said, let's do it. And it was one of the most wonderful gigs of my career. There were 19 performances in the month of March, and 18 of them were full standing ovations.
Oh my.
The 19th was a small standing ovation.
Okay, that's a pretty good record there,
It
John.
was, Dave, I can't tell you. And interesting that we've done That's Life here. The Superstar Theater was Frank Sinatra's Atlantic City home. And the very first show, about halfway through That's Life, it struck me. I'm in Frank Sinatra's theater, doing Frank Sinatra's song, standing on the same stage he stood on. And it actually teared me up a little bit.
Wow.
And I mentioned it to the audience. I said, this is one of the most humbling things that's ever happened to me.
Oh, what a wonderful experience.
It's unbelievable.
When I saw you perform, with a wonderful heart and a wonderful soul you have, you're a wonderful man. And, you know, people see that, and they react to that, and they give it right back to you. All the love that you're beaming out to them comes right back to you. And that was a great thing I saw. And even that small little show I saw with you, which only lasted maybe 15, 20 minutes.
It was great fun.
That was wonderful.
You know, you talk about sending the love out, and I would really like to say this. My entire career, for me, has come from God. I was put here for that reason. I know that. It was brought to my attention very early on, before I actually got into music. It was brought to my attention that this is where you're going.
And how did you know that? What was the event?
I was at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. I was an engineering student.
Okay.
I was a freshman there.
All right.
And space program was very big back then. That's where I was going. I was going to be an engineer in the space program. Didn't take long for me to go, this is not for me.
Okay.
And I went to the chapel. I had no idea what to do, no idea where to turn. I went to the chapel one night. I'll never forget this. Sat in the back of the chapel. It was 8 o'clock at night. And I just prayed. I said, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm 18 years old. I don't know where to go. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with my life. Show me something. Dave, a young man in the front of the chapel, had no idea I was sitting back there, walked into the room, sat at a piano and started to play. Not 10 seconds later, a young lady walked in, sat on the piano and started to sing. And I felt it right here. And I thought, okay, that's where you want me? That's where I'm going. Had no musical training, no background other than a small band in high school that I think we played a Sweet 16 party. But I knew it was right. And transferred down to Hofstra, got my degree in music education. A year after graduation, I was out on the road with a 7-piece band and went from there. And through, as you must know, every performer knows at some time in their career, very often, more than once, you go, what am I doing? Right? What am I doing? And every time I'm brought right back to it.
It's a tough road. It's a tough gig to be a professional musician, and I admire you for it, John. John, it has been such a pleasure and an honor.
Absolutely mine.
Oh,
Absolutely
thank you,
my
John.
pleasure, my
God
honor.
bless you.
Thank you. And
Much
you. Thanks for
success.
inviting me.
Oh, thank you. Much success to you in the future.
Thank you, Dave.